It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Now that's a cliche.
Yes, and it still holds true.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We're honored to welcome you to another episode where for over 30 years we've been able to come alongside you, not only selling, buying, and investing real estate over 3,117 times, 30 years of coming alongside you to build your fund, build your finances, build your faith, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside your relationships. Really, 30 years of helping you build your money, your family, and your home. So in this segment, we're going to explore. We're going to go on an exploration.
Yeah, I like
Not
explorations.
just with Ken,
I
with
like
all of
explorations.
you. And we're going to explore why leveraging who you know and who they know may be the best thing to do.
Hold on, that sounds like usury again. Leveraging your relationships.
Leverage your relationships. So we're going to unpack why that's actually okay and not bad.
Yeah.
Because we do it all the time.
Yeah, I
So we
guess
might as well call it out. Like it's kind of maybe the elephant in the room or the elephant in our mind sometimes is that it feels like we're using somebody.
And you know what? It stopped me one time. You might remember
I'm sure I remember.
We were going through a transition in our business.
At Solid Rock?
Yeah, at Solid Rock Realty. And I was struggling with the transition and what we do. It was around the franchise and letting the franchise go and becoming independent and all this kind of stuff. And there happened to be an interview with our coach. She was doing a session and she had on a guest, and the guest speaker was Adam Markel. Markel, right?
Yeah.
And he wrote a book called Pivot, interesting enough. And other people were trying to put this book in my hands. And then what happened was my coach said, well, I can get you a personal invitation to talk with Adam directly about how he pivoted and how you might pivot and that kind of stuff. And what was interesting was I never took him up on it, never took her up on it. What's that about?
I think it's a word that starts with P.
It could be. It might be the pride word.
I'm guessing.
I got this. I don't need help.
Right. I don't need, and yet you didn't have it.
No. I was in a tough spot, actually.
Right. And so when have you been in a tough spot where you actually really did need the help? It wasn't just a glass of water. It wasn't just a momentary thing that didn't really matter. It was actually really something that mattered. And you still said to yourself, I got this. And it made life a lot harder for you.
Mm-hmm. And you think, I was going to say, you think you have clarity around the way forward, but actually you don't. I was in a fog about the way forward, how to handle it. And so much so that I didn't even look for the help.
In fact, you refused the help.
Well, let's call a
spade a spade.
Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah.
So like we refuse the help when we most urgently need the help. So for Ken, I think it did come a lot from the P word and maybe the F word. The pride and fear. Fear of looking foolish, not looking smart enough, not looking like he had it together. And I guess that sits with pride too, because you want to, most of us want to look good.
They're partners.
Right? Look good and be right.
So the truth is that you leverage your relationships all the time. You just don't recognize it. Things like, oh, where would you go to eat? Or if you're, what's
the best movie to watch?
What's something you've seen in the last few weeks?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're leveraging that relationship for information or for help. It's not a bad thing. You leverage, like people ask all the time, well, who's your realtor? Who should I use as a realtor? And we get referred, and it's a blessing to us and the other people, the person getting referred to. That's leveraging a relationship.
Yeah, and it's not like we're out to get anybody. You've got to be just happy to support, because I know you're happy to support. You're happy to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what you need to tell yourself. How did you actually get over it? Maybe that'll help, Ken. How did you get past the point of saying, I don't need your help, I got this? Like, what was it for you that allowed you to recognize that you do it in lots of ways all the time?
I was going to say, you're making an assumption that I'm past it.
Well, you do it much more now.
Yeah, I do ask for help more. Well, I think part of it was God kind of beat me over the head with it. It was, I didn't ask for the help. Then the people that were staying with us came home, and we were talking briefly about this author, and they go, oh, we came here, we brought 3 books with us. Adam Markel's Pivot book is one of them. We know somebody that works closely with him, and
One
they
of his
gave us
coaches.
the book. Yeah. And so they went downstairs, grabbed the book, gave it to me. A couple days later, I was going on a retreat, a men's retreat called Band of Brothers. And I'm at the first meal, and this gentleman walks up to me and he says, Ken, I don't know why, God spoke to me and he said, you need this book. And he gave me the book. And guess what the book was?
Well, I know it was Pivot.
It was Pivot by Adam Markel. So sometimes when I don't accept the help comes and finds me.
Right. And so I still don't know that it's going to give you your answer, but I'm going to encourage you to take some time and think about, who is it and how will you start to ask for the help that you know you need? Because you know you say yes. So how will you ask for the help you need when you need it?
Yeah. Recently, one of my staff wanted a new car. And she knew that I'd sold cars. She knew that I knew a lot about cars, that I stay current on cars, that I like cars. And so she said, well, what kind of car should I buy? And she was naming some brands. And I said, well, have you checked out the Infinity dealer? Because we drive Infinities and I like Infinity. And so I took her there and supported her. And it turns out that was probably the best vehicle for her needs. And on top of that, that was hilarious. The guy thought that she was married to me.
Right.
So he gave her the family discount of $1,000 off, loyalty discount. And when she went in to pick up the car, she goes, no, we're coworkers. And he goes, that's okay. I already gave you the discount. I'm not taking it away. So
right. So the question I have had asked, that I asked more probably than anything else, and it came from John C. Maxwell, and that is, who do you know that I need to know? So some of the best connections we've ever made have been third-party connections, not even what that person knows but who do they know I need to know?
Yeah, that's how it becomes exponential, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And we're honored to be your advocates on this journey of building wealth through real estate and having a life exponential.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.